Standards Practice Week 13. Number 1, solve for x. So we have a proportion, which is a fraction equaling another fraction. So the way that we usually solve this is either by cross multiplying, or you can recognize that this is just x divided by 3. To get rid of dividing by 3, you just need to multiply each side by 3 instead of cross multiplying. So this would get rid of it. So x would equal, so think of this as 3 over 1. So 10 times 3 is 30. 15 times 1 is 15. And that actually simplifies to one of these answers. So 30 divided by 15. Number 2. Is the following function discontinuous or continuous in y? So discontinuous means that there's a gap somewhere in the domain or range, so you cannot draw the graph without lifting up your pencil. And then continuous means that you could draw the whole thing without lifting it up. So let's look at what this would look like. Oops. Maybe I should draw a straight line. Okay. Well, that's about as good as I can make it. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's look at the first part. So f of x just y equals, so for the first part, y would equal 1 minus 0.5 is the same thing as 1/2 x for all values that are less than 1. So this is the same thing as negative 1/2 x plus 1. So I would start on my y-intercept, which is 1, and then my slope is negative 1/2, so down 1 over 2, and then I would draw a line like this. But this is only for values that are less than 1. So instead of drawing the line all the way, I would start at 1 and then keep going. And since it is not or equal to, there should be a hole right here. So this is a piecewise function because it's made of pieces of different equations. So let's look at this one. This one says that y equals x for any x that's greater than or equal to 1. So this is a slope of 1 and a y-intercept of 0. So I would start here at 0 and then go up 1 over 1, and then up 1 over 1, and up 1 over 1. So, but I cannot start at here and draw my line. I have to start at 1, which happens to be 1, and then continue it. So, is it continuous or is it discontinuous? Can I draw this whole graph without lifting my pencil? If I can, then it's continuous. If I cannot, it's discontinuous. Let's look at the next one. So these kind of go together. This one is an extension of number 3. So the length of a rectangle is 4 more than twice its width. So let's think about a rectangle, and the perimeter of the rectangle can be no more than 92. So perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or 2 times the width plus 2 times the length. And I want it to be no more than 92, so it would have to be less than or equal to 92. So either one of these will work. Alright, but the length is in terms of width. So length of a rectangle is 4 more than. More is plus. Twice means double. So 2 times W. And then the length is 4 of that. So that does tell you your answer to number 3. So on this one, it wants to know what the inequality would be if I use this value right here. So here is what I'm going to use. So here's what I'm going to use. Instead of L though, I'm going to plug in 4 plus 2W. So I'm going to do 2W plus, instead of the L, I'm going to use the value that I wrote in number 3. And I'm not going to solve it, and it will tell you your answer to number 4.